It's 5:30 a.m. on a Wednesday in January in Clewiston, Florida, and a bass angler fuels up his truck and boat ready to head out on Lake Okeechobee. He's alone now, but he won't be for long. Today is the first stop in the 2006 Walmart FLW Professional Bass Fishing Tour. This event will bring hundreds of anglers to the lake near this small town and bring a sizable economic impact to it as well.
Money from an event like this flows through all areas of the community, not only for our restaurants, but our gas stations, our hotels. Right now, if you called any hotel in town trying to find a room for just tonight, you're not going to be able to find one.
Tournament organizers say cities and towns are getting much more aggressive than lobbying to bring professional fishing events to their areas, a recognition, they say, of the impact tournaments can have on local economies. The dollars spent nationally on freshwater fishing support a number of industries, including boat and engine builders and manufacturers of the hundreds of fishing lures anglers tie to the end of their lines. For example, Americans spend upwards of $2 billion every year just on fishing tackle. It's a long way from the sport's earliest days 30 years ago, when buying fishing gear meant going down to the local mom and pop tackle shop. These days, fishing gear sales are dominated by major retailers like Bass Pro, Walmart, and a few others, and they've all had a role in bumping bass fishing into a serious professional sport. That's quite a change for veteran pro anglers like Roland Martin.
When I started my bass fishing, my mom and dad were alive then, and they thought it was a stupid sport. And they said I was wasting my time. I ought to become a doctor, lawyer, or something. Those kind of things you hear parents talk about.
Martin retired from the pro circuit last year, but not before turning the fame of winning dozens of tournaments,
Man, I'll catch a big one here,
into his own brand, with a long-running television program, books, and videos bearing his name.
Well, when I see the modern day sport, it makes me feel really proud because, you know, there was a time 35, even 40 years ago when we dreamed about that. You know, we said, gosh, maybe one of these days we're going to have $500,000 prizes. Maybe one of these days we're going to have television coverage that's deserving of the sport. Maybe one of these days we're going to have, you know, all these wonderful things that are happening now.
That's not to say there aren't challenges ahead for bass fishing.
What is that, Mason?
Which relies on passing the love of the sport
We're gonna let him go, okay?
on to the next generation. Jeff Yasteen, Nightly Business Report, Clewiston, Florida.